Hi, this is John with John Milliker Photography, and if you've been listening to the podcast, you know I've had a lot of problems with Nikon service. And after 2 months, 9 weeks, I finally have my camera back. And I encourage you to look, maybe listen to a couple of the old, and I will, the next podcast, as long as everything goes okay here and I can close the book, the next podcast episode will be kind of just recapping everything and kind of figuring it out. But I just received it today. A very quick recap, sent it in for an ERR message, got it repaired, they sent it back. Inside that box was a note saying, oh, by the way, your hot filter is scratched on your sensor. Call them up. They said, oh, it should have never happened. We'll help you out. And all the technicians said, I'm going to follow your case until the end. That didn't happen. Granted, everybody I talked to is fantastic, but the background communication was just terrible. Finally gotten a hold of a supervisor. I don't like complaining on social media, but I complained on social media, and all of a sudden things started happening maybe a week and a half ago. Got it. They compensated me for my troubles, which was basically I sent it in. I don't want a free hot filter. I just want the hot filter replaced. And yeah, if you want to give me a little bit of a discount on service, because at one point you already had it open on your bench. It gets lost in, it doesn't get touched for a week after it arrives there. Back and forth. They're trying to push me on a sensor. Well, finally a supervisor said, by the way, we don't replace hot filters. We just replace sensors with the hot filter pack. If I would have known that, I would have sent it to a company like Life Pixel or one of these other companies that claim to have OEM. It's the IR pass filter. It's the IR. It basically keeps the IR out of your sensor. But they, as I said, they really the supervisor really worked with me. They reached out to me. They told me, hey, by the way, we don't do hot filters. Whatever. Here's a discount. They gave me a hefty discount on it, and I told them that I didn't want to replace the sensor, but I finally did because of my sensor in this camera and Christine's as well. I mean, the D850 sensor is a fantastic sensor, but I had no hot pixels, and for astrophotography, just everything on this camera was perfect. So anyway, UPS just dropped this off. Nikon was nice enough to do my request, which was signature required. So I was keeping an eagle eye out for UPS because UPS has kind of burned me a couple times. Thankfully, UPS was that close to leaving it without a signature. Even though it said signature required, Christine went out and met them when I was working on recording something else, and she went out and said, "Hey, thanks for the box. Do you need me to sign for it?" And the UPS driver was like, "Oh yeah, I guess so." It's kind of funny that UPS did the exact same thing when we first bought all the Nikon gear, the Nikon bodies, the lenses, everything. I mean, we're talking, we're talking over, actually it was over $25,000 worth of gear. And UPS, it was supposed to be signature confirmation from, I think it was B&H, and UPS left it on the step. We were waiting for it. We knew it was coming. And we were waiting for everything, and yeah, we're walking around. We're getting ready for a trip that we had planned, an event actually, and all of a sudden I look out the window, and there's not even a knock, not even a doorbell, no signature, nothing. All of a sudden I look out and I see just tons of boxes on the front step. So don't do this because karma is a big thing. But if I was kind of a jerk, I could have probably said they didn't deliver it. I wouldn't want to do that because I wouldn't want to be stuck with that kind of karma. But I've got my camera. I've got a piece of paperwork which I will read. I'm gonna read off camera. My microphone's not working very well. I got a bunch of junk up there. Okay, I'm gonna read the paperwork, and I'm not going to show that because it's probably got all kinds of personal information on here. Let me fix my microphone. Okay, material description, special repair service. There's the discount that they gave me. The original cost for service for replacing the sensor, in case anybody else gets kind of stuck with that. Let me move my keyboard. Kind of to keep everybody, kind of keep them honest. I'm going to tell you exactly what the price of repairing the complete CCD sensor. It was $755.23, and then they were going to charge me. I think it came to $777. So that was, hopefully some good luck there. And they were going to, and that was like $777 after shipment and signature. I see on the bottom of my report in big stampy letters, adult signature. So thank you for getting that right, Nikon. That is extremely appreciated. And honestly, thank you for giving me the discount as well. I didn't expect free like my first technician I was talking to, but I expected maybe a little bit because you guys did mess up, and it's been a complete mess up, and I'm giving them another chance because we don't want to move. We don't want to move from Nikon to something else, and I was this close with sleepless nights, and sleepless nights equal looking at other camera bodies. In fact, that's how we moved from being a Canon user for 25 years to all of a sudden going to the dark side and getting a Nikon. Okay, here's what it writes up. Special repair service, write up, repair, RPL CCD, replace CCD. ADJ, adjust body flange back. ADJ, adjust autofocus operation. ADJ, A, white balance. I'm guessing that's adjust white balance. Or adjust a white balance. I don't know. General check and clean. Thank you for checking it and cleaning it again, because when I sent it back for this sensor, the hot filter scratch, let's be honest, the sensor was never scratched. And that's the problem that I had with a lot of issues with talking with Nikon is, oh, your sensor scratched. Your sensor scratched. Okay, you don't understand. Here it is. The Louis C.K. just want to shake things. You don't understand that the sensor is on the bottom and the hot filter is on the front. Nothing scratches that sensor unless you guys took the hot filter off, scratched up my sensor, and put it back. Plus, my images weren't showing it. If the sensor itself was scratched, it would show it on every image. It wasn't. Well, that's when they finally came back and says, well, we only say it's a sensor scratch because we can only replace the sensor pack. Whatever. That's something for you to know in the future. If you have a hot filter scratch, maybe consider somebody else. Otherwise, you're going to get a bill for $755.23 to get that replaced. Now, this is not Nikon's NPS service. I spoke with another person who, right before I decided to get my sensor replaced, they had their sensor replaced because they sent their camera off to get cleaned and the other company scratched it. I'm not blaming Nikon for scratching it. Worse things could have happened. I don't care. I don't care what happened to my sensor. But I wanted it fixed. But another person with NPS said his total bill came to $700. So you're probably saving about $70 on such a repair if you're with NPS. We're not with NPS because NPS never accepted us. They kept bouncing us back. We had the bodies and the pro bodies and the pro lenses and we don't buy third-party lenses. I mean, we've started buying third-party lenses for stuff we don't use. Lens Baby, super wide, fisheye. But when it comes to the lenses that project the image on that sensor for my business, I want OEM. I want Nikon lenses. So we had more than enough to be able to be enrolled into NPS and kept getting kicked back. Of course, I sent them several emails and communication problems. So whatever, don't care. Just letting you know, if you are lucky enough to be part of NPS, you're going to see probably about a $75, $80 discount on this. Checked battery drain. I do appreciate that. I want to check my serial number, and I'm probably going to do that off camera because, like I said, when I sent it, it kind of sat around for about a week. I got an email all of a sudden. Hey, what's the serial number of your D6, your Z6 III body, which is a mirrorless camera, not my camera. And I'm starting to worry. I'm like, did they lose my camera? Don't know. So I've got a couple little. I usually put a couple things in my cameras to make sure that that God forbid something happens that I can identify my body. And accessories, body cap. Always send your body cap in to when you get your camera repaired. Nothing tells somebody that you probably don't care about your camera other than if you don't send a body cap in with it. No battery, no flash card, no proof of purchase. Pretty sure I sent my proof of purchase in with the first one. I know my camera's registered. So for you to sit here and say no proof of purchase, maybe that's just a general thing. Maybe if it's not under warranty, that's their way of saying it's not under warranty. No proof of purchase. So whatever, don't care. Received your letter. Thankfully, they received my letter because I had to tell a person on the phone about 4 or 5 times, please read my letter. When I sent it back in, I still had some ERR messages, and I had the hot filter scratch. And they kept coming back with, oh, the ERR is probably because you removed your battery while the camera was on. I didn't, but okay. What about the sensor? Oh, we're still working on it. And then I get a message the next day. Hey, how do you want your camera back? The ERR is probably nothing. Sorry. It's been a long 2 months. All right. Received your letter. Eyepiece. I didn't take my eyepiece off because it's kind of one of those, one of the ones you screw in. It's got kind of like the little eye cup on it. Whatever. If they lose an eyepiece, then I don't know what to tell them. I'm not going to say what kind of discount I got because I feel that was something that was they were nice enough to do for me. I've said this on the podcast, and I'll say it again on the podcast, is I would rather have spent the entire $777 on this repair and had one of those supervisors or maybe even a manager contact me and reach out to me and say, John, we're really sorry about what happened. We do understand that a lot of our Nikon customers are very upset at the quality of our service. I've had so many people reach out to me. Saying that the reason they went Sony was because of the quality of Nikon repair service. I would have been happier, Nikon, if you're listening, I would have been happier with you guys if you would have charged me full price, first of all, whatever. But if somebody would have contacted me and said, look, we have a communication issue. We know about it. We're working on it. We're going to make sure this happens. It doesn't happen to anybody again. I complained on social media. And we've been on social media for a long time. I'm not heavily loved, followed, or an influencer by any means, but I had to complain on social media in order for something to happen, it felt like. You shouldn't have to do that. If you are an amateur or a beginner or a professional or whatever, you shouldn't have to have a social media following and be that squeaky wheel that gets the grease. Nikon should treat everybody with the same respect and the same priority. Right now, I'm happy to have my camera back finally, and I hope that it's good. But I would have been very happy for the future of your brand and me being in your brand and me buying mirrorless cameras when one comes out, hopefully at the end of this year, that we like. We switch over to mirrorless. We stay with Nikon. We stay with we have very expensive. We have your nano coated technology lenses that you sold us for the D850, telling us that 40 megapixels and higher needs to have these lenses. We don't want to switch again. When I say that I was in Canon for 25 years, I was all in with Canon for 25 years. It was a very costly, very expensive move. So without any further ado, let's throw this out here. The original camera was sent when I first sent it and got it back. The original camera was sent back in some packing peanuts. So I do appreciate, but it was packing peanuts. Here's my twisty rubber band. Here's the trash here. Okay. Like I said, I've been so long without this camera. Your Nikon product has been serviced and meets factory standards. Should you experience any further issues, please contact our technical support team. Often, we're able to resolve issues without the need to return your product to Nikon. By the way, returning my product to Nikon, I had to be promised by 2 different people before I got to a third person that finally put through the They paid for the return of getting my camera, and sending a camera through UPS and insuring it for every cent that it is worth in case it gets lost, it's very expensive. So Nikon, thank you for that. Again, it shouldn't have happened that way, but I want to talk the good and the bad. It looks like my camera body. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this off camera. Put this right there. I'm going to read this technician's QC report. This is the QC report that I got the first time that said, hey, by the way, we just sent your camera back and it's all scratched up to hell inside. I want a camera that is the best quality that you can afford me. Okay. Technician's QC report. Check on clean exterior. Check on cleaned image sensor. It was brand new, but thank you for cleaning anyway. Clean eye sensor not applicable. That's for your mirrorless. Viewfinder cleanliness is within factory specification. Great. Inspected built-in flash. No built-in flash, so not applicable. Inspected interface communications, USB card slots, etc. Inspected switch and LCD monitor function. Inspected exposure accuracy. Confirmed focus accuracy within factory specifications. Inspected general shooting function, mirror, aperture, shutter, LCD monitor, etc. And latest firmware version confirmed. Now, Christine and I were one firmware back because I really, the newest firmware that came out was something that it really didn't affect us. And I'm not somebody that just installs firmware to install firmware. So now they upgraded my firmware on the last repair of this. So I'm going to have to upgrade Christine's D850 as well in order to make sure that we're both on the same page. And it looks good. Not this spot right here. Anybody else with the D850? This spot right here starts going crazy immediately. Christine's got one. I had it. The leatherette is just, I don't want to say poor. The leatherette just doesn't stand up to the wear. They replaced mine. I'm going to have to eventually find a door for Christine to replace her door. It's two screws. That's it. Right now, I've glued it for. I see I've got the same little bubble in the protective thing that I put in there. I'm checking the back of my LCD. My name is there. I've got my name in a couple different spots on the camera. Okay. Where's my battery at? Nikon battery. I'll pop open my battery doodad. The serial number is the same. Like I said, I was so worried that they had lost my camera. Okay. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to go in the menu and I'm going to lock mirror up for cleaning. Oh, got to disable the Bluetooth. I think it's down here. Airplane mode on. Actually, I've got to go to Bluetooth first. Bluetooth is off. Go back. Airplane mode is on. And then I can come up here, lock mirror up for cleaning. Okay. Camera is open. I've got my old little, what is this? Belkin sensor scope. This is what I used to use always when I was when I cleaned camera sensors for a large company. I'm going to pop this open. Put this on there and turn me over, and I'm going to get a look I'm going to get a good look at my sensor. Turn it back over. Put my doodad on there. Take a breath because it looks good. Everything's clean. Everything looks fantastic. There's no scratch there. Nikon. Okay, I'm still in open mirror mode. I'm going to make sure that my body cap is on properly, and I'm going to turn it off. That way, that'll close the shutter back. Actually, you know what? Let me close it, and then I'm gonna take a quick look through it. Wow, and they did a good job. The last time I got the camera back, I had I had still dust in my focusing screen, through the viewfinder, and that is clean as well. Right now, I need to go and I need to shoot. We've got some astrophotography coming up, and that's where I'm really worried. I'm worried about the low light performance of the camera, and but right now, Nikon, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I'm not going to sit there and talk about how badly. I don't like that. Make sure the Nikon is right. Look, I've always talked about how badly you guys kind of messed up my repair, but I already said that I wished you, instead of giving me a discount, would have come out and said we're working on the problem, because I want the longevity of your brand. I love this camera. Christine loves this camera. We love the D500s. We're looking to go into mirrorless at the end of the year. As long as I think the Z8, Z9s come out and they're nice, we want to stay with the Nikon system. We want our lenses and our bodies. I mean, of course, the body's going to change, but we want our lenses to last a lifetime. And our Canon lenses, when we had to dump all those, they would have lasted a lifetime. We don't jump ship quickly. So we want Nikon to prosper, and we want any camera company to prosper. I don't want to have to sit there and give run a class or a workshop, or maybe I'm teaching at a school and saying, my thing used to be, put every camera in your hand and pick the one that you like the best, because Canon, Nikon, I've seen Olympus, I've seen Fuji, I've seen Sony, I've seen all of these cameras that are very capable cameras, and it's kind of like going into the two big competitor the home improvement stores, and you know the ones I'm talking about if you're here in the States, because they almost seem to be completely opposite of each other. You pick the one that works the best for you, because this is not going to let you down. For a point there, I was not going to tell anybody ever again that this was a viable option because of how badly the service was. Everything's working out good. Right now, you've done a fantastic job of this, but I expected that, because I had to bitch and moan and complain, and you had to specifically reach out to me on social media and tell me that things were going to be better. So obviously my repair was going to go swimmingly. But you need to do this for everybody. First time, and your technicians are great when they put their mind to it. I mean, this is a beautifully made, a beautifully repaired, and beautifully cleaned camera. Of course, like I said, I'm going to check the sensor. But right now, I am extremely happy with this. If my camera would have come back like this the first time, and you would have called me, hey, by the way, the sensor appears to be scratched. Maybe I did it. Maybe I didn't do it. I don't care. I want it fixed. I would have been completely happy, and I would have been in your cheering section for anybody that told me when I switched to Nikon, or was considering to switch to Nikon, even though our consideration to switch to Nikon only lasted about an hour. Let me get my camera back up. Oops. There we go. Anyway, I'm just getting to it. Nikon, I challenge you to do this level of quality of service for everybody from the get-go. And no matter if they complain on social media or not, I need you to fix your communication problems, because we want your brand to grow and prosper. And I hope that we stick with Nikon for the next 25 years of our life, because it's a fantastic camera. The lenses are amazing. But the problem is I can't be a Nikon shooter if your service center is this kind of backwards. You need to fix it. You need to fix your communications, and I hope you do. I really do. When I need to send another Nikon camera or lens in, this is my first, and here we are 9 weeks later. I finally have it back, and it seems to be in perfect condition. The best ability that Nikon can give me so that I can do my job. And so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But you need to fix your stuff, and hopefully we all move forward. But thanks, Nikon, and thanks everybody for watching. Hopefully this was helpful to maybe some people that are kind of in the same boat that I am, and a little bit highly discouraged.